Shri Mohit Makol ji, Head Solution Engineering, Government Business, VMware India, to kindly get his presentation done on industry, transforming government services, leveraging multi-cloud for cost effectiveness and better efficiency. Over to you, sir. Thank you.
So good afternoon. Am I audible? Yeah. So thank you so much for the opportunity. First, I would like to congratulate the organizers, Government of Odisha, for the phenomenal event. Extremely mindful thoughts we are getting since morning on the digital transformation. The last session itself was phenomenal, where we heard, the challenges pertaining to the pervasive definition of a digitization, from education to policing to IT industry to, running e-governance services. So thank you for the show. And again, would like to thank you for the opportunity given to the VMware to present how multi-cloud can be the part of this transformational journey. So, hi, I'm Mohit Makol. I head the solution engineering team. So what I'm going to do, I've been given 15 minutes. I will try to be a little quick as well as given the instructions. So we will try to connect you from the aspect of multi-cloud challenges and how we can address them and how we can plan for the future, because it's a journey together. There is some level of experience industry have today. There is a continuous engagement is required in this field to progress. So with that, I'll start the presentation and, just with the certain data points. So last year, we did a survey with 200 government IT leaders across globe to get certain inputs, and we followed the same this year as well. We found, looking at the numbers, substantial percentage, like 95% of people said that they report and then their application through the data center to colo to public cloud as well as to the edge location. So multi-cloud in adoption is pretty high in multiple areas. Also, we have seen the 52% of the IT leaders actually looking to set up a common framework for the governance across the cloud, different clouds, and also to take control of the consumption, how it is happening. 38% said that, okay, they are going to take a significant technical decision in next 18 months to see how we can make sure that our application is enabled to be accessed anywhere through any device. So with that, I'll not go through the digital transformation challenges. There is a lot of great information being discussed with the aspect of what is the driving factor. But, the only thing which I want to highlight, the Government of India and various state government has already done a significant amount of investments, and there is India digital journey itself is an example. But with that, the citizens, the business demand more. So how we going to continue this journey is very important. And obviously, there are certain factors which impairs the transformation of the journeys. I will again not go through the digital divide aspect of it, which is well covered. But last thing we don't want the cloud infrastructure or the technology to impede this transformation. Rather, we want the technology to help in this transformation. So this is where we're going to focus today. So while there are many transformational journeys which is going on, in this session, I will try to cover the 3 key journeys, which is led by the application transformation. Now, this is a big word. The application transformation, the requirement of modernizing the application may vary from the organization to organization. So, but the end goal of which, most of the IT leader has acknowledged that they want to make sure that they thrive in the era of this digitization where, the application or the business's demands change overnight. How much application can look into this? The other important aspect we have seen in the application transformation, the modern architectures. The modern architecture itself, led by the microservices and the container itself, giving a demand where the developer has a lot of time to build a code at much faster pace. So how we are going to make sure this developer productivity is put into the production using the platforms that we use. Another example, DevSecOps, which is development, security and operations. We have seen that the DevSecOps also, while there is a technology and the teams may change, but 2 factors which is principally there is to how we can optimize the CI/CD pipeline and the automation piece in the application app stack. So With this, the security also plays a key role. Again, great insight shared in the morning keynote. So here in the DevSecOps, it is also acknowledged that the security has to be a continuous, by default, pillar which has to be automatically imbibed into the application lifecycle. So last, again, the cloud infrastructure. Obviously, with VMware pioneered the virtualization 2.5 decades ago, the platform for the cloud has been initiated there itself with the various services such as the infrastructure as a service. That journey continues, correct? With the more and more technologies, every iteration such as containerization demands more automation, more operation control, and more management. So how we are going to take care of all this, how we are going to plan our cloud infrastructure pervasively across the different platforms is something that we need to look at. So with that, again, coming to the point that it is the application need which drives the kind of the platform I select for my cloud. So the application, there are a variety of applications which has a different demands. There are the application which is traditional applications, which is built by the government entities, completely hosted, does not demand that periodic changes as well. There are modern application which requires a very, very proactive addresser. There are AI/ML applications. There are applications which requires the edge control. So these demands also an environment. So for example, if I have an application wherein the skill set to control the application can be best delivered by a particular cloud platform. It is natively built by using that cloud platform, or I have an application which is very legacy and the resources are not, and there are not a lot of changes required in that application. So that environment also decides what kind of a platform that we need. So, and the platforms, if we see, first of all, as I said, the private cloud. The government entities own their data centers where they have scaled it to provide a provider-like experience from the cloud itself, and VMware has partnered in this area. Then we have a lot of sovereign cloud provider which actually make sure the Indian sovereignty of the data which has been spoken in the morning is ensured by giving the services. Then we have a lot of public cloud as well. We have a edge cloud as well. So, but one thing is inevitable, that multiple clouds in an enterprise government environment is inevitable. It may be today, we may have only the data center operation. Tomorrow, one initiative may come from the central government or the state government where one particular application is rolled out through one cloud. Then you may choose another cloud for the subsequent application. So how we are going to address our control pervasively across this cloud platform is the agenda. Again, certain numbers which actually shows that the multi-cloud is well acknowledged in the enterprise segment. So going quickly into how the multi-cloud journey need to be strategized. We have seen that there are two different pillars which drive the multi-cloud strategy. The first pillar is the data center evolution. So data center, if you look into it, it all started with the virtualization, as I said. Then, industry moved to the storage virtualization. And then, the data center, many of the government entities itself has moved to the software-defined data center, wherein my data center in totality has become agile to provide a provider-like experience. The parallel journey has started, which predominantly started with a one single workload moving to the public cloud. Government is across the globe enjoy the benefit of agility and flexibility. But this benefit soon has been taken away by the silos which this has created. So in this current state, we may have a private cloud which has been built. We have one application running on one public cloud. We have another application running on another cloud. And we have an edge. The plus sign in between is not something which is binding together. It is creating a silo. So what is the desired state is that, okay, I start using the benefit of all the clouds with the best suitable to me. So how do I define my definition wherein I choose the application which I need on which particular cloud and still have the same pervasive experience? So what is the experience we are talking about? This is where the VMware comes and helps. If you look into it, I will not go in detail since VMware journey specifically, again, I would like to thank the government of Odisha. We've been largely associated with the government of Odisha for both OCAC as well as with NIC, Bhubaneswar, to run private cloud operations. So if you look into it, the phase one of the VMware was when we actually revolutionized the industry with the virtualization. Phase two, as I explained, the software-defined data center. The phase three of VMware, where we are working with entities such as government ecosystem partners to make sure that app modernization as well as the multi-cloud journey is being taken in the same control what we have delivered in the private cloud environment. So with that, as I said, we have an inconsistent approach across the cloud. So what do we need? We need a cloud infrastructure which can pervasively be available across the different platforms. We need a cloud operations which can manage, run the operations, manage the cost, give the visibility across different platforms. We need a modern application app stack which can be deployed across the different platforms on demand with the best suitable for the application, as I explained in the earlier slide. So what essentially we are saying, when we say the common cloud interface is the common cloud interface for the compute, storage, as well as for the network. So how we can make sure that, irrespective of the platform I choose, I have a common cloud interface. How can I have a common cloud console, which is providing you the cost, automation, operation security across the different clouds, and obviously how we can develop a modern app platform which provides the agility and the flexibility best required for the application. So with that, if VMware actually is one of the first vendor who has envisaged this multi-cloud journey 5 years ago. Essentially, where we started with our virtualization pervasively given to all the hyperscalers. We wanted to set that as a platform, but now we have moved in this 5 years with the acquisition of various app stack portfolios such as Tanzu and the Pivotal. With that, VMware come across the VMware Cloud Services, which is providing a common cloud interface with the common cloud operations to best suiting for the constant access to the application from wherever you desire. So I will touch upon very briefly on the portfolio, couple of slides to see what we can do. So first is from the cloud infrastructure point of view. So VMware has a solution which is called VMware Cloud. Now this VMware Cloud is one single solution which can be available on-prem, and I can give the same level of a control to moving to any choice of a hyperscaler, choice of the sovereign cloud, or even the other government entity, for example, you select for the disaster recovery sort of services. VMware ARIA is another portfolio where we provide the complete control over the operations and management of this infrastructure. So what this result into the 3 outcomes, the optimized data center operations, so which actually boost the agility and the scale without any security and the control compromise. So if you have taken a compliance or audit for your internal data center, setting up the cloud operation internally, do I have to change my audit requirement, or my control will vary depending on the other platform I have chosen? Answer is no. So these are some of the benefits which we can drive with the VMware Cloud portfolio. Similarly, from the modern application point of view, I would like to discuss that we have a solution called VMware Tanzu, which actually gives a complete app stack solution wherein you can actually build the platform as an application platform increase the path of production of the application. For example, the developers can have a more agile model. There is one common platform which can be used across different clouds to build the applications. So then we have obviously runtime for the Kubernetes perspective, which can provide the smooth operations aligned with the upstream Kubernetes. So again, the advantage for this is that modernized government software at the mission speed. So how we can actually increase the speed of our operations to run the modernized application, and how we can automate the cloud native operations. The last, again, the portfolio which actually is from the security perspective. Again, we have spoken in the morning that, how the cyber security threats are increasing day by day. People say it's no longer a defense, it's actually an AI versus AI competition, that how we can make sure that security becomes an integral part of my solution. So ransomware sort of attack, a lot of examples Lieutenant General Pant has discussed, which has recently happened in India. So how can I have a solution which actually might enhance the ransomware recovery or the disaster recovery? How can I set up those sort of operations? These are the solutions which we work closely with the customers with our solutions such as the VMware NSX as well as the VMware Cloud DR with ransomware recovery. Recently there is a guideline which has been published, again MITI, on the cloud security point of view. So we have talked about the network isolation, which is very important, that how can I make sure that the later movement is controlled in case there is a breach. So this sort of a solution is available. Finally, I would like to talk about a little bit about the flexibility, mobility, solutions where the end objective is that I access my application from wherever I need. How can I increase my productivity? So this where, the solutions such as VDI, such as workspace management, which actually give you to choose the device of your choice and still have the same control. So these are the solutions which is available and work pervasively. So this, if you look into these 4 pillars together, the multi-cloud approach for running the cloud operations, making sure that it is zero trust is applicable all across with the solutions such as the network isolation or the ransomware recovery, with the application portfolio wherein we are not only worried about how we run the application, but we also are enhancing the developer productivity by setting up a platform. Finally, how we consume this application with the devices with the same level of a control across various data center is achieved these 4 pillars which I have shown in this slide. So with that, I just want to show a slide that what should be my next phase of a multi-cloud architecture. If we look into it, most of the government organizations where we work very, very closely with the national data center, the state data center, with the specific critical data centers across different PSUs, we know there is a certain application which run on premises. We know there are certain application which is done on the sovereign cloud or a colo from the disaster recovery point of view. We also know that government has taken initiative wherein one particular workload has been given to one particular hyperscaler to run. So what this we see at this point of a time, mostly we have a vertical integrated stack. That means these cloud platforms are working in silos. So all are differently managed, controlled, consumption is monitored differently. So if I talk about the future state of the multi-cloud architecture,